From the heart of Latin America came a novel that changed the face of world literature. 100 Years of Solitude. It was penned by the hand of the Colombian sorcerer, Gabriel García Márquez, and first published in 1967. 100 Years of Solitude was not merely a book, but a literary legend that captivated millions. It was translated into more than 30 languages, reaching every reader in the world and making the name Márquez a symbol of magical realism. This is the epic of the Buendia family, where reality and magic intertwine and history is bound with fate in an unforgettable tale of love, war, solitude, and oblivion. Let us dive together into this timeless work.
A gentle warning. Welcome. What you are about to see in this video is nothing more than a doorway, a glimpse, a small spark from a great fire. It is a summary of 100 Years of Solitude, Gabriel García Márquez's masterpiece, one of the greatest works ever written in the history of human literature. But let me be frank with you. No summary, no matter how masterfully crafted, can convey the pulse of this novel, the depth of its questions, or the heat of its conflicts, as you would feel them reading it for yourself. This video is merely an invitation to wonder, to reflect, and perhaps to a journey that will change how you see the world and yourselves. If what you hear captivates you, do not hesitate. Read the novel, slowly and with an open heart. And so, let us begin this prelude to the world of 100 Years of Solitude.
Chapter 1. Beginnings and the First Obsession. When Macondo was founded, José Arcadio Buendía dreamed that the town would be a place untouched by death. He envisioned it as an earthly paradise, whose inhabitants would never know decay. He immerses himself in mad scientific pursuits. He tries to extract gold from the earth, dreams of inventing a time machine, and even contemplates creating a human being from scratch. But his passion for knowledge drives him to madness. One day, he ties himself to the chestnut tree in the courtyard and remains there for long years, babbling in strange languages, until he dies a mysterious death. Ursula, for her part, manages the household and the town with astonishing resolve, becoming a symbol of continuity and realism amidst her husband's insanity.
Chapter 2. The Fracturing of the Second Generation. José Arcadio, the son, runs away with a neighborhood girl on a romantic adventure, only to return later as an enigmatic figure, with a colossal body charged with mystery, carrying with him a suspicious fortune. His death is tragic. He is killed by an unknown bullet, and a line of his blood snakes its way from his wound to the family home in a majestic, magical scene, as if the earth itself were weeping for him. Aureliano Buendia, before becoming the colonel, lives a pure love story with the innocent Remedios Muscat, but her premature death after their marriage carves an eternal wound in his heart, later driving him toward a life of war and solitude. In this generation, a clear tendency to repeat names emerges: Aureliano, José Arcadio, a sign of the curse of eternal repetition that will haunt the family.
Chapter 3. The Curses of War. Colonel Aureliano Buendia leads the liberal wars against the conservatives, but he soon discovers their absurdity. He survives dozens of assassination attempts and even tries to take his own life, but he is miraculously saved each time, as if fated to live a long, endless solitude. Despite his heroics, he ultimately becomes a man devoid of purpose, signing peace treaties he doesn't read and discovering he was merely a pawn in a game far larger than himself. A fleeting love appears in his life with a woman named Petra Coates, but she fails to break his solitude as he remains a prisoner of his past in the ghosts of the men he killed.
Chapter 4: The Economic Boom. Macondo transforms into a major commercial hub with the arrival of the banana companies. New emblems of civilization enter the town: the cinema, the telegraph, newspapers. But this prosperity creates a new class divide: the wealthy in luxurious stone houses and the poor in marginal shacks. The family begins to lose its unity. Money divides them, desires consume them, and incestuous relationships emerge in secret.
Chapter 5: The Women of the Buendia Family, the Feminine Fate. Amaranta, despite the many who loved her, refuses marriage until her death, preserving her virginity as a form of vengeance against the past. Just before her end, she foretells the exact day of her death and weaves her own shroud, a moment filled with awe. Remedios the beauty becomes a legend. Her pure beauty drives men to madness, with some even dying from the intensity of their infatuation. In a timeless moment, she ascends to heaven, body and soul, leaving everyone in stunned disbelief. Rebecca lives a long solitude after the scandal of her marriage to her adopted brother, turning into a ghost in a desolate house. The women in the novel are not mere background characters. They are the pillars of fate. They connect the past and the present, bearing the weight of solitude with wondrous patience.
Chapter 6: The Collective Collapse. The massacre of the banana workers is not just a political event, but a mythical wound in the town's memory. The sole survivor of the massacre, Aureliano II, returns to scream what he saw, but everyone denies it. It is as if truth itself has been erased. Macondo drowns in a collective denial. Memory becomes a void, and the town a place without a history. This moment represents the pinnacle of magical realism, where political fiction merges with collective amnesia.
Chapter 7: 7 Years of Rain. The rain falls without end until the town is submerged in mud and rot. Houses crumble, the tail of a pig tree's decay, and animals drown. The Buendias live in a house that slowly collapses around them, surrounded by a humidity that devours everything. The rains represent a washing away of history, but instead of cleansing, they bring decay and oblivion.
Chapter 8: The Last Generation and the Prophecy. The last Aureliano is born from a forbidden relationship between an aunt and her nephew. This child is born with the tail of a pig, fulfilling Ursula's ancient curse. As the infant is left to be eaten by red ants, the last Aureliano finally deciphers the secret manuscripts of Melquiades. He reads them and understands that they were not merely a history, but a prophecy. The family's entire life had been written in advance, in every detail. And as he finishes reading, a hurricane wind destroys Macondo, wiping it from existence, so that nothing remains but the story itself.
Conclusion: a time that devours itself. 100 years of solitude closes just as it began, a sealed, inescapable circle where fate repeats itself without mercy. The Buendias never had a chance to escape the shadow of their solitude, nor the repetition of their names and their mistakes, as if history existed only to reflect itself in their mirrors, generation after generation. And Macondo, the village that began as a pristine dream in the jungle, was but a microcosm of humanity itself, born in the glow of a dream, lost in the passions of love and blood, falling to its own sins, tasting a fleeting moment of glory, and then descending into oblivion. But the magic of Márquez makes this cycle a captivating destiny, one that does not only inspire despair, but invites us to immerse ourselves in its details, to chase after the fates of its heroes and to ask ourselves, are we too condemned to inescapable circles of fate?
Kindly, if you like our work, support us with a like, encouragement, comment, or share so that the benefit may spread.